ahead. That's why we're here right now. We're going to execute the rest of this week and just set up for the new year and dial in those processes, dial in the plan. And I think the most important thing is like training and speed and getting everybody up to 100%. Right now we have new employees, new team members that need to know, like the insurance industry it's a huge industry and there's a lot to know. So having the knowledge, and that truly allows you to be at 100%. Like it's knowledge is the bottleneck of insurance. That's what I've come to learn. So getting people from not knowing anything from payments, servicing, billing, sales, quoting, all that stuff up to 100% where they're jack of all trades, they can handle anything, all insurance. That's the bottleneck. That's what slows down the process of insurance. Getting the leads is easy. Getting the calls, making the calls is easy. Running the quotes is easy. Like once you can get people to do it and know what they're doing, and then you can just feed them in the machine. As long as you set up the right marketing machine with content, with generating leads, referrals, retargeting. If you can, that's the easy stuff, guys. Like you should figure that out yourself. So once you get that in place, then it's just a training issue. Like getting a team that all knows what they're doing, can execute on those things. That's how you really grow this business. So speed is of the essence. Time is of the essence. You have to execute quickly. Don't waste time. Don't wait till January 1st to get started on all your goals and all your processes and your training. Like right now we have team training. The team is training right now as we speak on December 27th. We're filming content. Like we're here putting out messages and expanding the brand. We got the hats. So if you want a hat, let us know. We got a bunch of hats now. We're branding, we're marketing, we're retargeting. We're running massive quotes that on Christmas Eve, I was out gathering the information, having these meetings with some of our biggest customers that we lost at one point, and we retargeted them and kept in touch and just kept working and re-nurturing that relationship. And now they're giving us a shot again. So this time we're not gonna mess it up. Before, I'll tell you guys a quick story. This was over $100,000 policy that we lost to another agent, and we actually had a cheaper quote. So this quote came in at like $145,000. We had a quote that was $135,000, 10 grand cheaper. Exact same quality. They were both A+ rated companies, big general liability policy. And long story short, they went with the other agent. And most people would be like, why the hell would you go with a more expensive policy that's the exact same coverage, exact same quality? Makes no sense to the average person, right? They decided that they went with the other agent because they were a little more knowledgeable in that area. So, and I know exactly what happened there. I was so focused on just beating the premium. I knew, I guarantee when it comes down to it, I knew just as much, if not possibly even more than what these other agents and brokers knew about this particular industry. I'm not going to get into details because for confidentiality, but they basically definitely, I'm confident this is what happened. They sold the value and the coverage. Meanwhile, all I talked to them about was always the price, save them money. And that's why I lost the account. And after the fact, I reflected on it. I knew what happened. I was like, dude, I lost this because I was just so price oriented and price focused instead of talking to them about the exposures, about the potential risks. If they did have maybe it is better to go with a little bit more expensive company and protect the business properly, because if you cheap out insurance, it's definitely not one of the places you want to cheap out, and you save 10, 15, 20, 30 grand over the next 5 years, and you have one claim that's 100, 200,000, it wipes out all the, and let's just say that claim's not covered. It wipes out all your savings for the last year. So actually you're saving money on the front end. Being an advisor that can really identify exposures and focus on truly protecting people the proper way, and instead of just being like, hey man, here's a $10,000 cheaper policy. Now they're a little more focused on the savings because everybody's mindset is going to this recession mindset where you got to save the money. So we will advise based on that, and lesson learned, we will never lead with price. It will always be a coverage conversation and a protection conversation and an advisory route. And then there's a cost analysis too. Like if you are truly like price driven, like that's what the customer wants, you also need to identify those customers and give them what they want, meanwhile protecting yourself from errors and omissions exposures, because that could always come back and bite you if you do go with something cheaper and just say, hey, here's the coverage. Document your conversations, well. Have good notes on what happened, why you chose that, what options were presented to them, and ultimately just be the best agent you could possibly be and give people the right advice. So time is of the essence. Got to move fast, especially big companies like this. They want stuff quick. They want people that are going to turn stuff around, that are on top of it. Because when shit does hit the fan, they need an agent that's going to be on their toes, sharp as a tack, ready to protect them and make sure that if they do need to put in a claim, it's going to be covered and they're not going to be left with a giant $300-400 million bill, right? So that's where we're at. We're going to show them that. We're going to demonstrate it. We're going to win this one back. Got a whole lot of policy documents here that are probably equal to about $250,000 in premium, which will be a nice commission. I say this not to brag, truly just because it's important for people to see what opportunities are out there. And when you establish the right relationships, like this was a relationship I built years ago, and I've nurtured it throughout the years. We've lost our policies, we win them back, we're going to get it again. And this has happened with so many of our customers here in the business. Like, don't burn your bridges. That's another point. You don't want to just like, hey, you canceled on us, like, fuck you. Don't say like, don't ever leave a relationship on a negative note like that. Like in life in general, like this is a life lesson, especially in business. When it comes to the money, you want to make sure you're leaving on a good note, because the business business comes from two different marketing routes. One, lead generation. Like, you're amazing at generating leads. Boom. That's awesome. Super important. The other side is relationships and referrals and basically word of mouth. Like, what people are saying about your business, about you as an agent behind closed doors, is really what's circulating and is the bloodline of your business. So when they're behind closed doors and they're telling their friend, like, oh yeah, man, like Chris kind of screwed me over, man, on the insurance. Like it wasn't good. Like, he gave me super overpriced and my policy canceled and they never called me and like blah, blah, blah. Dude, that's tarnishing to the reputation of me and my business. And I never want that to happen. That's why it's so important to, like, if something goes wrong, send them a gift card and say, hey, we apologize for the issue that happened. We'll make it right and we'll make sure it doesn't happen again. That is much more respectable from a business and a business owner than saying like, well, John, you should have just checked your mail. You should have called us. This is on you. No, John, we completely understand. We always recommend you check your mail. We apologize for the inconvenience and the miscommunication. Here's a $25 gift card. We'll make sure that from now on you receive a text or whatever your process is. If you decide to start texting people, text everybody. That's an errors and omission thing. But John, from now on, we'll make sure this doesn't happen, and we'll make sure your business and you are always well communicated with, and we apologize. We're very grateful for your business and your loyalty to Adelphia Insurance. So that's a much better route than going, screw you, John. You should have checked your mail, man. So yeah, that's basically my morning routine. That's how my morning looks. I wake up, espresso, and then I just